KUGAN CASSIUS, IFL TV, MTK Global. Delighted to be joined by Andy Ruiz, unified heavyweight champion. It's been a while, Andy. How are you, mate?
I'm good, man. It's been a while, but it's been a blessing while. So, I'm just training hard, staying disciplined, and focused for December 7th.
Andy, since June the 1st, it must have been kind of a bit of a whirlwind. Can you kind of summarise how that's been for you? And just, it's all eyes on you at the moment, isn't it?
Of course, this is what we've been dreaming about. This is what I've been working for my whole life. So I had the opportunity. I took advantage of it. And, and I became the first Mexican heavyweight champion of the world. And we made history and we made my dreams come true.
How does it make you feel that prior to the fight that literally no one I spoke to outside of your team gave you a chance? It was like, this is a decent opponent for Anthony Joshua to fight at short notice. But no one was really giving you the time of day going into that fight, which is the truth.
You know what? Everybody's been doubting me. Everybody's been criticizing me, just the way that I look. I think I just needed that right moment and the right chance to prove who Andy Ruiz really is. So thank you, Eddie Hearn, for giving me this opportunity. And I'm sorry for beating Anthony Joshua. And that's what we're planning to do on December 7th again. So, don't get your hopes up because this chubby kid is training really hard.
Andy, it was a shock to everyone when the fight, the rematch was announced for Saudi Arabia. What reservations did you have about going out there? We know your preferred place of venue would have been back home in Mexico, but how did you feel about actually going now out to Saudi Arabia to take this rematch?
At first it was a little iffy, but I thought I was going to be back in New York. I would have loved it, would have run it back in New York City, even over there in England. I tell you the truth, no matter where it's at, it's just me and him inside the ring. There's no help. It's only me and him inside the ring. So I think Saudi Arabia is a beautiful country. It's a beautiful place, and there's a lot of boxing fans out there. So I think it couldn't have been in a better place.
After Dillian Whyte's fight with Oscar Rivas, you echoed some feelings about not wanting to come to the UK. Can you kind of talk to me about that a little bit?
Yeah, of the testing of all that stuff, but that has been on us like looking for us like hawks, and they've been testing us almost every 2 weeks, every week. So, I'm not really iffy about any of that. Like I said, it's only me and AJ inside the ring, and I think it's whoever wants it and whoever has that will and that power to win the fight is going to win the fight. So what we've been doing here, working hard, training, sparring a lot, busting our ass off, I think that's what's going to help us win our fight.
There was a picture or a video that went on social media, which you'll be aware of, that kind of got everyone talking and speculating, etc., and blowing it out of proportion, as social media likes to do, Andy. But I just wanted to make some kind of comment on that and how that kind of escalated into all these kind of rumours on social media.
Well, there's a lot of videos that people have been talking crap about. Which video are you?
The one with the syringe.
Which one?
There was a clip of you with a syringe, and everyone was kind of like, "What is this about?" etc.
What syringe?
Like what you use to inject something in with.
Of me giving somebody a shot. I was Mr. Andy Doctor that day, so I was giving my good friend Anthony Garnica a B12 shot because he's been cutting weight, so I think he needed a B12 shot, so I gave it to him, and he was moving around, and I kind of did it pretty bad, but he moved, so I think it hurt him more.
Yeah, we saw that, and everyone, obviously, listen, like I said, it's people on social media kind of always looking for negative implications, shall we say, but I just wanted to ask you that. We knew what it was because we kind of heard an explanation of that, but I wanted to hear that from you anyway.
There's no way that I'm going to be taking no PEDs, no steroids, nothing, man. I'm still the same chubby kid, just with energy, and we bust our ass off inside of the ring. Yeah, I have my cheat days here and there, but it's just working hard, man. Just working hard. I don't need to take any of those supplements, or I think once people take those, they don't have confidence in themselves. So, I'm just a naturally gifted person, I guess.
From certain pictures and shots that we've seen of you, Andy, it seems like you have trimmed down. Can you tell us exactly kind of how much weight if you have lost any between the Joshua fight and to this point now, a month out from the fight?
You know, right now I'm only like 3 pounds less than when I fought Anthony Joshua. So a lot of people are saying he looks too skinny. He's not going to be strong, this and that. Those are people that don't really know about boxing. And, you know, we've been looking really good inside the ring. And, you know, I just want to be 6 pounds, 8 pounds lighter than I was for the first and June 1st. So I think that's the goal right now, just to be 8 pounds lighter, and it's going to make me feel a lot better. It's going to make me feel more slicker, more faster. And, you know, it's going to tell on December 7th.
Because I think people are suggesting that you've lost a lot more weight than £3. I didn't know whether it was £3 or not. I'm kind of listening to people thinking I wasn't sure whether or how much weight you'd actually lost.
Yeah, right now it's 3 pounds less. I weighed in at 268, I think, for Anthony Joshua's fight, the first one. And I'm planning to be like at 260 for this fight. You know, I don't want to lose too much because I want to be strong. I want to feel good for December 7th. So a lot of people are saying that. I know a lot of people have been messaging me, hey, don't lose too much weight. Hey, you're going to be weak. Hey, this, that. But you know what? I listen to what we do inside the gym, and we know what we're doing and what we're doing it for.
Let me ask your opinion about Tyson Fury. He was in the WWE recently. Oh, yeah. He's always kind of here and there doing his thing, etc. What did you make of him entering that WWE?
You know what? I think that's a good opportunity for him, you know, because boxing is not forever. So if he wants to go that route and continue another career, I think that's good for him, you know. I don't really have nothing bad to say about him, even though he talks crap about everybody else, you know. But I'm a humble guy. I treat everybody the same. I treat everybody the way that they treat me. So, you know, Tyson Fury, I think that's a good move for him. Just don't stay away too long from boxing because I don't know, the timing, the all that might be a little different when he goes back inside the ring.
When I spoke to you about 7 years ago in the Top Rank gym, Andy, the fighter I asked you about, remember? You said, yeah.
I didn't even know Anthony Joshua.
Who told you about Anthony Joshua, Andy?
You did.
I did. I said to look out for a 10-0 prospect at the time. And so that was obviously the wheels in motion to what happened. But the fighter you said you wanted to fight was Tyson Fury. That was 7 years ago.
7 years ago, you know, because he was the one that was top of the game, you know, and everybody was scared to fight him just because he was big, long, difficult. But to tell you the truth, with my style, I make every style difficult because of my speed, the movement, because I'm short. So I think me and Tyson Fury will be a really good fight after my fight December 7th.
Wilder Ortiz coming up as well, Andy, on the 23rd of this month. How do you see that going? Is it the same outcome as the first fight for you?
I think it's going to be the same outcome, you know. Wilder's the younger man, the stronger man. So, plus he's a good friend of mine, so I'm going to cheer for Wilder for November.
Just going into December 7th, Andy, is it, obviously not asking you to obviously give a game plan away, but are we to kind of expect a similar approach to the fight going into this tactically?
You know, it all depends how we start the fight. You know, if he tries to box around, then I'm gonna have to cut the rings and throw my combinations and pressure him. But if he wants to exchange punches and attack like that, I think that'll be even more funner for the fans. You know, because a lot of the fans, they want to see us get knocked out. They want to see us get hurt. They want action. So hopefully there's going to be a lot of action December 7th and with my name and victory.
Do you believe that he's trimmed down, if looking at pictures of Anthony Joshua at the moment?
You know what? I have seen that he did trim down. He lost a little bit of weight. I don't know if that's going to be good for him. But, you know, I've seen a lot of fights of him, man, and he's not good boxing around. I know he's been practicing, been working, but inside of the ring, it's different. And you can't use those different. It can't be that quick to learn those skills. So, but no matter what he has up his sleeve, it's my job for him not to do that. You know.
Just a couple more, just because I know you obviously was on your way out, Andy. I much appreciate it.
Asking good questions and all that.
Andy, mentally, where do you think Anthony Joshua is at the moment, mentally?
I think right now he's a little pressured. You know, I think he's more focused on, you know, getting the belts back. I think he's worried about other stuff. but I think he's in it to win it. He wouldn't have picked this fight for nothing, and you know, hopefully he brings it. December 7th, because I'm gonna do whatever it takes to retain those belts and bring them back over here.
What sticks out for me prior to the Joshua fight and the week of the fight was you asking to take your picture with the belts, and everyone was kind of on your case and saying, why is he doing that? And you wanted your pictures done with the belt 3 days prior to the fight. If you were in a similar situation with Joshua, I'm not saying he's going to want to do that, but do you kind of look back at that point, Andy, and think to yourself, I knew what I was doing there because I knew that these belts were going to come to me?
You know what? I think it was all motivation. When he gave me the belts, when I told him, hey, can I hold them? He was just like, yeah, man. And a lot of people were saying, hey, Andy, it's bad luck if you hold the belts. Or they were telling Anthony Joshua, hey, it's bad luck if you let him hold your belts. I think it's all fairy tale stuff, I think it's either you got it or you don't. And I think when I hold those belts, I said, you know what, these are going to be mine. And I started praying and I started praying. And until they became mine.
Andy, I remember interviewing you in the hotel room in May, and I remember your kids were running around, and I didn't know at the time that one of your kids called AJ, yeah? So you were like, AJ, shut up! And I was like, I didn't know your kid was called AJ, so I was like, is this how he's psyching himself up for Joshua? I was like, what's going on?
Nah, he's my little destroyer, man. He's up and down everywhere, a lot of energy, and I would love for him to be a boxer as well. But us fighters, I think we fight so they don't have to fight. So yeah, his name is AJ, Andy Ruiz the third. But this is what we work hard for the kids.
How happy is your mother?
My mom's really happy, She's really happy right now. She's a little nervous. All mothers are nervous, for the fights and all that. But inside of her heart, she knows I already won. I accomplished my dreams. I get to provide for them and help them out whenever they need help. And not just for my mom, but my brother, my sister, and especially for my kids to have their future set.
Everyone's kind of loved your story. Even people in the UK have kind of loved to see that moment after the press conference where you said to your mum, you ain't got to work no more. Everyone kind of loved that, and everyone has in the UK as well taken to you. So it's not a personal thing. Joshua's from the UK, so everyone's kind of supporting him, but you kind of know how the game works with that.
Of course, and the main thing that she tells me is just to remain humble. Even if you're on top of the world, you still got to remain humble. You still got to treat people the same way that they treat you. And I think that's what I've been doing, remaining humble. And there's been a lot of people trying to get in. People think that I'm going to have a big entourage and this and that, so many people around me, but, I still have the same people that I won the heavyweight champion of the world, and those are the same people I'm going to have for a long time. So right now, just remain humble, stay focused, stay disciplined, and get ready for December 7th, because I know it's not going to be easy, and I know it's going to take a lot of sacrifice to retain those belts.
Just finally, hypothetically, things to go well for you on December 7th. If I could pick 2 fights for you for next year, ideally anyone, who do you fight in 2020?
After, because my focus is on December 7th, and I need to win that fight against Anthony Joshua. That's the most important fight right now that I see. But I would love to fight Wilder. I know he's a good friend of mine. Me and him control the heavyweight division. We're in the same team as well. We're both signed by Al Heyman, so I love to fight him. Or there's Tyson Fury. Maybe I'll give the rematch. I would love to get the rematch with Joseph Parker, because I wasn't really prepared for that fight, and I kind of trained myself for that fight, and look, I almost won, so I know I could get that win.
Joseph Parker's a fight that a lot of people thought you won as well, Andy.
I wanted to see the fight with him and Chisora. I don't know what happened.
He was bitten by a spider, yeah.
By a spider, but they still had like a month for the fight or something like that. So I was looking really forward to that fight. I think Chisora did really good against David Price, and all respect to all fighters, because we all risk our lives inside the ring, and we all do it for our loved ones.
This is genuinely the last question. I know I did say that before. Alexander Usyk is now a heavyweight. He obviously made his heavyweight debut in Chicago last month. But how do you think he's going to fare in the heavyweight division? Let's talk about him fighting Derek Chisora next year as well.
I think that's going to be a good fight. You know, I think he still has a little bit more to improve. I think the heavyweight, it's a lot different than cruiserweight. You know, and he looked all right from his last fight. A guy that hasn't fought in I don't know how long, and he took the punches well. And but I think Usyk's a really good fighter, a really skilled fighter. He's lefty. He boxes around, and he can make a lot of people. You know, it could be difficult for a lot of people. And of course, I think he's mandatory too for the WBO. So you know, I'm not scared of nobody. You know, I'm not ducking nobody. So I'm here to fight the best because that's how we remain the best. You know, so I think that would be a good fight against me and Usyk as well.
Absolutely. Andy Ruiz, thank you very much for talking to IFL TV, and we look forward. We're both coming out to Saudi Arabia in December, so best of luck, my friend.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that, and look this video up on IFL TV.
Top man. Thank you very much.